Hi, this is Tony with BesideTheFrontDoor.com with another one of my favorite perennials for sun. This is Echinacea. Come in many, many different colors. Everything but a blue, just about. And you can have an entire bank of flowers that will bloom most of the season for you with all different colors just from Echinacea. The Echinacea is a coneflower, and yes, it's the same plant that you hear about for Echinacea to boost the immune system is where they derive that from. And unfortunately, it is one of those plants that looks not so good in the nursery often. It can be a hardy, rugged, fully healthy and wonderful plant. It's going to do really well for you, but really look kind of awful in the pot. But once you get it in your garden, it will perform for you very, very well. Its one requirement is it has to be well-drained soil. If it is sitting in some water or it's a clay soil that stays moist, it's just going to rot that crown out and it's not going to do well for you. It wants well-drained soil. If you need to make it more well-drained, don't take clay soil and just add sand. You're going to end up with concrete. That's how you make concrete. But good organic matter, compost fixes almost every garden problem you have out there. Another trick to help it keep more well drained is when you plant it, rather than having it even with the soil, have it on a slight mound, not a big hill, just a slight mound. And that will help ensure, especially during the colder months, that in wet cold months, that it is draining away from that crown that would rot out. If you're having trouble with your Echinacea over the winter, because it is so winter hardy, it is most likely because it is just rotting out during the winter. Try that planting on a little bit of a mound, just an inch or so up, just enough to make sure all the moisture drains away from that plant. So here is, this is a white one. This one's called Powwow White. There's several different white ones. The most common color is purple, but there's reds and yellows and apricots and oranges and pinks and every color that you can think of, again, but the blue. But you see how, you have the gorgeous color to see what color it's going to be. And then as you go down through in the pot, you look and you're like, what's with that skimpy little plant down in there? Oftentimes you won't find a really full, beautiful looking plant in the nursery. If you find one, great, but don't let that put you off. There are some plants that look so much better in your garden than they do in a potted container in the nursery. And this is one of them. Now the coneflower comes from when the flower opens up. This is almost flat, but as it gets pollinated and starts to mature, you can see this, like this one is about halfway. It's lumped up like a dome. The one next to it is starting to mature more. It's getting a bit of a peak at the top, so it's getting more cone shaped. So that's why it's called coneflower. It will get taller, that cone part. That's where the coneflower comes from. Full on sun, poor soils, very cold, very drought tolerant. That's the Echinacea for you. If you have other plants that you have questions about, please leave them below so I can make a video up for them for you. And if this was helpful to you, click like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. If you have any more questions about any of the plants I've talked about today, please go to BesideTheFrontDoor.com, and I'll have some of the spec sheets available for you to download and take to your local nursery if you're looking for one of them. I wanted to give a shout out to the owner of Sun Valley Garden Center, Bryce Terzian. Thank you for letting me film here.